Okay, in this video, we need to talk about digital literacy, literacy for the digital age, whatever you want to call it. But literacies are changing constantly. They are expanding. They are not going away, but the way we read, the way we do things, the way we view the world changes all the time. This particular way is called digital literacy. In order for academic literacy to remain relevant, authentic and motivating literacy classrooms must embrace the transitions and alter their educational practices to reflect them. As much as I disdain doing online classes, I hate this. And I've already made the executive decision that, God forbid, if we're online in the fall again, I'm going to have to rewrite my classes because this is not working for me at all. So, but this is the wave of the future. My sense is sometime during your teaching careers, you're going to see a much, if not all, education go online. Brick and mortar schools are going to be going away. It's all going to be online because that's the most efficient way to do it. What we have to do is we have to find new resources, new literacies, and new ways of delivering information. Now, that said, there it is. Can't get it to go. There we go. Redesigning instruction to reflect new literacies first involves acknowledging that the acquisition of literacy can take place in multiple venues: art, print, music, technology. Those are all areas of literacy. One of the things that we have to do, and it is incumbent on you as beginning teachers, because you are going to see, as I have seen, tremendous changes through my teaching career. I'm finishing 39 years this year. The end of this semester, I will have 39 years in a classroom of one form or another, either elementary or at the university level. Things have changed. I can't even begin to tell you how things have changed during those years. You are also going to see tremendous changes through the years that are going to involve what are called new literacies. As we grow, as we expand, as our knowledge well increases, and the well of knowledge is increasing exponentially. You buy a computer, you go buy the latest in computers at Best Buy or at Walmart or wherever you buy your equipment. The minute you buy it, it's obsolete because there's something bigger and better. They just haven't got it on the shelf yet. It's they're not supporting these programs as nearly as long as they used to. This is a changing high-tech world, and the students in your classroom, even first and second graders, are probably going to be much more technologically literacy savvy than you will be even right out of college. So you have to play to those strengths. Not only do new literacies involve becoming well versed in the technology tools, but they also involve learning how to apply those tools to traditional literacy acquisition. I had a parent tell me one time, I don't know why you're so worried about my son reading because everything's on the internet. Well, what? You still have to read. You can't get on the internet and it just magically comes into your brain. We can't get away from reading, albeit a different venue perhaps, a different way of delivering the literacy instruction, but we have to keep these kids reading. We can't just say, well, you're not going to worry about it. When I was in high school, my mom made me take typing class, and I was so upset about that because I didn't want to be a secretary. I told mom, I said, I don't want to be a secretary. I don't care. You're going to take typing. Boy, that was one of the best things she ever told me to do. And I because now with keyboarding, they're teaching keyboarding in the early grades now. Used to be high school was when you took typing class, and only usually if you're going to be a secretary. Electronic books have been found to motivate children to read and enhance their achievement in analyzing words, recalling details of stories, and acquiring a sense of story structure. That's all fine and good, but they need to still see the print. Don't take the print away from them at this point. There may come a time during your teaching career where the printed words on the print, on the paper, somehow evolve into a different format. But for right now, they need to see the print on the paper. There's blogs, there are wikis, there are podcasts, there are all kinds of things out there that you can incorporate. I've seen so many. There's the school that here in town that I work with. Those teachers are they're doing short Zoom classes with their kids, or at least meeting them with Zoom. They're Zooming with each other for meetings. I've been in many Zoom meetings, and I have a couple yet this week. Um, and I'm getting a little better of a handle on that format, but there we're going to have to get used to this, and we're going to have to embrace it and not rail against it. New literacy materials, with all of their capabilities for creativity, correspondence, and retrieval, must be included in daily routines for learning. I distinctly remember when we got our first Apple computer at the school where I used to teach. It was the very beginning. I think it was in 1983, 84. And I mean, we all had to take programming classes because you couldn't buy programs. You had to program the thing yourself and all this stuff. Things have gone so far from then. We used to have, when I had internet at the house, we used to have dial up, and you had to go through your phone lines, and if you were on the computer and somebody called you, they got a busy signal because your phone was tied up. That's how it all started. It's not anything like that now. Children will need to function with these technologies on a daily basis. These kids, you are going to be teaching children in your classrooms for whom jobs haven't even been thought about yet. They are going into a world of that we can't even imagine 20 years down the road, 30 years down the road. You don't know where they're going to be. You don't know what they're going to be doing, but we have to teach them how to learn and how to interact globally within these new literacies, and we have to be able to instruct that. Using technology will maximize student experience, generate interest in content, and the tools used to present it. One of the things I would say too is never be afraid to let your kids show you how to do something with the technology, because quite honestly, they probably are going to, like I said, be better than you with a lot of the technological things and the way things work with technology. That's the world they've grown up in. That's the world they're used to. We are not. Virtual field trips right now on the website. I've put up stuff for Disney World. There are virtual field trips all over the place. You can take a virtual field trip of the Louvre in Paris. You can take a virtual field trip of the museums in Egypt. You can do all kinds of things to explore the museums, monuments, national parks, other places. It breaks my heart that those virtual field trips may at some point take the place of actual vacations or actual trips to those places, but still, you can incorporate that into the classroom, especially for those children who don't have those opportunities available to them. Digital stories provide students with the opportunity to share personal stories or retell favorite stories using audio, video, and still images. Have them use technology to make a story, to draw pictures and then save them and make their own storybooks on the computer. Have them work with those kinds of things. All of these new literacies, and right now we call them new literacies. In 10 years, they're going to be old hat and there'll be something new. Dramatic play provides endless possibilities for literacy development. Let them make their costumes or whatever. Let them do a play in the classroom. Let them, and it goes back to readers' theater. Let them engage in readers' theater that motivates them for reading and writing. It sets the stage for opportunities for ELL students and for those from diverse backgrounds. They'll learn about functioning in real settings with other children. You can do things such as having them, some kids, may not believe this, but it's the truth. Some kids need to be taught table manners because they're not being taught at home. You can do that as a dramatic play thing in your classroom to teach them how you sit at the table and how you ask for something to be passed, how you wipe your mouth with a napkin, or those kinds of things. They need to learn those kinds of things. For literacy materials to be used to their fullest, they must be natural and from a child's environment and serve a real function. You can talk about that. The School of Business at McKendree, I know, has their students all year long as they go through. The seniors or juniors, I forget which group it is, they all dress up and they do a mocked up business dinner. So they learn how to use the utensils that are set in a fancy business dinner. They learn how to shake and look somebody right in the eye and firmly shake their hand. They learn those things because they need those in the corporate world. Same thing with literacy skills. All levels of literacy development should be accepted, and reading or writing attempts should be recognized as legitimate literacy behaviors, even if they're just very nascent, very beginning. You need to make the kids feel like they are learning, that what they're doing is worth your time. We've talked about thematic units. I'm running out of time here. We've talked about thematic units, and you can incorporate those. Watch your classroom teachers, your cooperating teachers, how they do things, what they do, and how they incorporate, how they go cross curricular with between literacy and math and social studies and science and whatever else they put in. Watch what they do and how they do those things. Now, I want to take just a moment here and say to you that I hate teaching this way. I miss you all terribly, but we have to make the best of a bad situation. I want you all to stay safe. I want you to stay healthy. If you need me, you've got my email, you have my cell phone number, you know where my office is. If and a lot of you I will see next semester in content area reading, which is usually, and it was on the schedule for Tuesday, Thursday morning at 11. So it should still be there. But uh, I want to, and I'm sorry all this has happened, but you know where I am if you need me. Don't hesitate to call, don't hesitate to holler, or shoot me an email or whatever else. And I will talk to you later. Stay healthy.